Hi, I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Benjamin Coy, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Nubia. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Before we talk about your business and international travels, please tell the viewers a little bit about your background and what you do.
Well, my name is Nubia Younge. I am the founder and CEO of Black in Tulum, as well as Black in Travel. I like to consider myself a global visionary and a quintessential connector. Traveling the world, I just love bringing people together and curating events and experiences. So that's what I do for a living, is what I love. It's a passion of mine.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about your businesses, Black in Travel and Black in Tulum, and tell our viewers about what inspired you to be an entrepreneur.
Well, I think that what inspired me, honestly, was me getting laid off from work. So I had no choice but to literally go out there and make and do something for myself, because I had refused at that time to go back into the corporate workforce. And like I said, I love bringing people together. I majored in hospitality management. And just love hosting events. So I hosted an event back in July of 2020 in Tulum, Mexico. I've been living in Mexico for 4 years. And that one event has turned into 5 days a week, 5 events a week. And I host hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world every day, and we just party together, we vibe together, we are able to listen to the music that resonates with us, the music of the African diaspora, Afrobeat, hip-hop, reggae, dance hall, all the things that people love, whether you're a person of color or not, and we just have a great time.
I love that. These pictures look so exciting. What would be your favorite event that you have put on in the last several years? What is the most exciting one that you look forward to every year?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. At one point, we had a beach club, and the beach club was a vibe because, we were on the ocean, and a lot of people just don't get to be by the ocean because they live inner city. And the closest, ocean or body of water could be hours away. So to see people of color just enjoying and taking time to sit by the water or jumping in or whatever, it's just a beautiful sight because water is so calming. In the beach club, listen, when I tell you we turned up, we turned up. It was a wonderful experience. But I think that was my favorite. But I've hosted many, many, many events over the last 3 years.
Wow,
So
so
I feel like it's not uncommon to hear about the professional transition from, professional corporate jobs to something more creative. And I'm wondering what that was like for you and whether you feel good about that and how it's affected your quality of life.
So honestly, I have made a life of myself abroad that I would have never been able to have had I stayed in the States. So as much as I was upset and hurt that I was let go, it was a blessing in disguise because I was let go almost 8 years ago is when I left the United States. And when I left, I was actually clinically obese. I was pre-diabetic. I was just unhealthy, right? Because the stuff that we eat, we're always on the go. We don't really prioritize exercise. And when I left, I was on some bump this, I'm out. I was kind of angry, but I was like, I'm going to figure it out. And the universe provided me, a life that I was able to leave for my son, who was in one of the slides. He is 24 and he's one of my event managers. So, Black in Tulum is now a household name worldwide. And I have created something that I would have never been able to do had I not took a bet on myself and bought that one-way ticket abroad. And as you see, I'm no longer, you know, obese and all of those things. So I'm healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, because yeah, I'll just leave that one there. But it's been a beautiful journey.
Awesome. So, having lived abroad, as a person of color, as a Black person, what advice would you give to anyone traveling internationally while Black, but specifically to Tulum? What advice would you give them?
I would say that regardless of the fact that you don't speak the language, because that's the number one thing I hear, and it's centered around fear, is that a smile is universal. You know, hand gestures, hello, Google Translate. Utilize your resources that you have. Online communities. I started with Black in Tulum, and there are so many Black in communities popping up. There's a Black in Bali, a Black in Colombia, Black in Portugal. You can go online, Facebook, Google. Take the time to research. We're everywhere, everywhere. I've been all over the world, and it's just a beautiful sight to see us in multiple places around the world. Take time out to do your research, maybe join a group or a community prior to going, ask questions. I think that the more knowledge base you have, the clearer you are, and the more comfortable and safe you'll feel when you land down in that destination.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's so cool. So much of what you have accomplished happened after you turned 40. And I'm wondering what advice you would have for people approaching or even coming out of that milestone. Because some people talk about it like life is over once you turn 40. So you've shown that that's not true.
It's not. It's actually better. I can't wait to the 50s. If I'm like this at 40, honey, 50 is going to be fire. You understand? So I don't think that I would have been able to do what I do had I been 20 or 30, because I wouldn't have had the experiences and the knowledge base to be actually able to manage something so big, right? We went from a community of 25 people to a community over 50,000 people. So it's one of those things where I think my age had allowed me the opportunity to be able to manage money better, to be able to manage people better, to be able to look at my past experiences and actually learn from them. And 40 is not old. We can't put these age stipulations on everything. I advocate for the Gen X community all the time. And I feel like when we're at a point that we feel like, is this it? I've been at this job 10, 15 years, my husband, my wife, my kids, my whatever it is, it's time to put yourself as a priority and go out there and enjoy what you love and do something that you love. And it doesn't have to require you getting on a plane. I don't care if you take a pottery class. If that's something that you've always wanted to do it.
I think that's such a great affirmation that as humans, we can try new things, we can excel at new things, we're not fixed in time. And it's just such a good and healthy attitude to have.
Exactly. Life is not linear, and we shouldn't be either, you know? And I just say with age comes experience, and with experience comes learning and being able to be introspective and actually taking accountability for your own growth, right? Because for so long, I was just mom, you know? I was mom. And then when I left, my kid was in college. My younger one was with his dad. And then I became Nubia. It was like I was my own person. It was like, oh my gosh, like I got my first apartment. I got my first this. And it was just like, no, you had apartments. But no, I shared them with my kids. It was like, this is my space. It's a whole different world when it's just you. And sometimes it could feel a little lonely. Sometimes you have, you know, questions that come up, but you learn so much more about yourself when you take the time out to do the things that you love and like to do, because you don't have to ask another person. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Now, switching gears back to that entrepreneurial spirit, what is some of your advice for people who would like to start a business?
I think people focus too much on monetization. How can I monetize this? How can I monetize that? And I truly believe that if you continue to want to do what you love authentically, I don't care if you're making journals, if you do t-shirts, if you are, if you speak life into people and you affirm things, whatever it is, it can monetize itself as you continually become consistent at it. It's like, I've met people who feel like, well, I'm a coach and I'm worth 50,000. And I'm like, well, how long you been coaching? And they're like, 6 months. No, honey, you need to put some stake in the game. I didn't just become a travel expert. Like, I've been doing this for almost a decade. I've been abroad for 8 years. Like, I put in work, you know what I mean? And now after 3 years, I am reaping the financial benefits of the work that I put in prior to doing this. So I didn't come into this with the American mindset of instant gratification. And we all have hard and soft skills that can be transferable, In this day and age, you can make money doing just about anything, like anything. So what are you good at? You know what I mean? And not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. I can't do my job without workers, right? There are people who are meant to just help other people in their businesses because that's what they do, So if we had a world of entrepreneurs only, we wouldn't have people who work for us, right? So at the end of the day, it's just what skills do you have that you can bring to the table? And it's entrepreneurship for you because it's not for everyone.
Nubia, where is a place that you have not yet traveled that you would like to go? Tell us about your travel aspirations.
I've been to 52 countries and I have yet to land foot in Japan. And specifically during cherry blossom. So for anybody who is familiar with the DC area, you guys know we get all about 5 days to check these cherry blossoms out in full bloom before they're gone. So I am planning to finally get to Japan in 2024 for the Cherry Blossom Festival. And I am super excited. I plan on doing all of the things. You understand? All of the things.
Well, I am so excited to see them. I'm so excited to watch. I cannot wait to see your excursions to Japan to see that festival. It's going to be beautiful, I bet. Please tell us what's upcoming for you and how our viewers can learn more about everything that you do and how we can see that Cherry Blossom Festival that you go to.
Well, I'm glad you asked because this woman right here is on fire and I am on my level up game. Okay. So, what to expect from Nubia in the upcoming, I would say 3 to 5 years. Black and Travel plans on launching in January of 2024. And I want Black and Travel to be the one-stop hub for people of color to be able to go to and find where to find us. You know what I mean? So you don't have to do the Google search. We have it there for you, including travel guides, including, meetings that we do monthly virtually, and you could ask questions, all of those things. And then I'm going to launch Novice to Nomad, which is a membership site for people who are looking to move abroad and really need that one-on-one assistance and help to help them find, where to go, how to navigate, what to look out for, and those kind of things. I'm also looking at potentially writing a book about my travels, somewhat of a memoir, and hopefully get back into podcasting. I kind of started dripping Tea Talks with Nubia, and that is coming out slowly but surely. I'm just taking my time with it. Honey, I can go on and on and on. My mind is a universe, so it's happening. So just look out for it all. But you can find us primarily at blackintravel.com. That is So blackandtravel.com or blackandtulum.com. And you can find me personally at I am Nubia Younge on Instagram, TikTok, and also Nubia Younge on Facebook.
Amazing. Viewers, please look in the description below for all these links: Black and Travel, Black and Tulum, Nubia. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing all of your wonderful insights. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
Thank you. To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media and subscribe to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel.
Viewers, thank you for watching.